Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So, by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now. Okay, we are on. All right. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. I am, of course, your host, as always, Samuel Warwick, this is episode 36. Man, we've been to 36. Luckily, we've interviewed a lot of talents and stuff like that, and it's great. But anyway, like I always say if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Samuel Warwick, and if you're returning here for another episode, welcome back. So yeah, but here with me, we have here co-hosting with me today. We have Kris from the Nostalgia Channel. As usual, we have Kris here with us today. So hi Kris, how are you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Well, welcome, Kris. Okay, so I don't know where Jordon is, and actually, you know what? We were tending gonna have Martin's normally another co-host that we have here too, but he apparently has a sore throat, so we missed you, Martin, and we still open you with open arms, and yeah. So now, so this is now. I know this has been a very tough. Like I wanted before I get in, this has been a very tough few weeks. I know last episode we did a little bit of a moment of silence and stuff like that. Last episode to honor some of the celebrities that have passed. You know, passed. So yeah, it's been very sad. We've had a 2025 has kind of been a little bit of a rough road, a little bit. So we've had some people that have passed. So like I said, and I was thinking, and so it's been very tough, guys, and I thank you for. Now, I don't know if you want to do this again. If do we have the moment of silence again? Do you guys want to do that again to honor? So because if you want to, we can. All right. So my guest here, before I get into them, said yes. So we're just going to go on ahead and have a little bit of a moment of silence again, and you can think about all those who have passed away, whatever year. If you had somebody from television that passed away, maybe your parents, just think about them and just But yeah, we're going to go on ahead and take our moment of silence. You can close your eyes, you can remove your hats, do whatever you want to do, and yeah, we will now do our moment of silence. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for participating with me. So, anyway, we will now continue with the rest of our show. So, our guest today is now this is a little bit different. I She has done things in the entertainment world, but she has interviewed people now, but she does mainly local things there. But she has interviewed people from the industry, just like many mainly any other podcast has. So yeah, she is not. She has. If you guys probably know her, you probably know her that she's probably widely. She's done a lot for Disney, and so yeah, she's interviewed a lot of people from Disney, and have people have made their mark on the Tierra Talk Show. Yep, I have somebody from the Tierra Talk Show here. So yeah, if you and yeah, and she's also done things. She's done things for local stuff too, like I said. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get into our guest today. Our guest today is podcaster, host of Tierra Talk Show slash podcaster, and musical slash stage actress. Tammy Tuckey is with us today. This evening. It's evening. So yeah.
Hi,
Oh,
Samuel. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me and inviting me.
oh,
It's been a while since I've been on a podcast, so thanks
oh,
for
oh,
it's my first one
really?
of 2025.
Oh, really? You haven't done any other interviews yet this year?
No, not yet. No, I just on my podcast, but it's nice to be on somebody else's for a little bit. I
Yeah,
don't need to worry about hosting.
yeah. That I mean, hey, it's I try. I've been watching you for a while, and I was considering you guys. You to be honest, you're actually you and this other person by the name of James Gnomes who hosts another podcast called Nostalgia Talk. There's another podcast. There was another podcast that was British. And there was another podcast that I used to watch, but I don't really technically watch anymore because they were kind of rude to me on my part. Yeah, they're a pop culture podcast. Yeah, and I was technically inspired by one of their other co-hosts, but then they fired that co-host. So, and that co-host came here with me for a while, and then due to unknown reasons, he bounced away. So, yeah,
Are you
it's
so you do you like podcasting? Is it something that you found that you've kind of really liked? Because
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that's kinda how I jumped into it.
yeah.
I
I
had heard
kind
so
of
many
jumped
other
in.
podcasts and did
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
I kind of jumped in. I kind of jumped in. I kind of jumped in.
Mhm.
I kind of jumped into to doing a podcast when I was because it was actually during COVID-19. Actually, in 2021, everybody was actually here. I was here doing nothing, and everybody was doing a podcast, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start one. And
Yep.
and then somebody, I think this was a British dude by the name of Jack Attack. He just says, "How do you get guests on?" And I just say, "Well, normally just if they have it, I just email people," and that's what he
Mhm.
normally did, and that's what I did. I normally just email people.
I say the same thing because it's true. It's you
I
never know if you don't email them
yeah,
or
I
message them.
yeah, yeah, I normally don't go through DMs a lot, but I have started doing that recently.
Yeah, you never know. You never
I
know
just
who will
I
say
just
yes.
don't I just don't like doing that because I don't want it to be weird. That's why I do prefer the email route.
Yes. I
But
usually go the email route as
yeah,
well,
I usually
unless,
go
like, I
email.
can only find them on
Yeah,
Instagram or Twitter,
yeah,
so
yeah. But yeah, I found your email, so yeah, I was there. So I know we've been talking for quite some time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm inspired by Tammy a little bit. Now Disney. Now I will be honest. I've kind of outgrown Disney a little bit, but I mean, hey, it's still nostalgia. So
mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
I feel the same way, there
I
are other interests I have because my podcast, the Tiara Talk Show, was originally just Disney, and then I changed it probably around 2022 to the Tammy Tuckey Show, because
mhm.
as you can see behind me, not the audience, but
Yeah,
when you watch my channel, you could
yeah,
see all my cool little
yeah,
thingamabobs, and they're not all
yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. Don't worry. People will probably see this footage behind the scenes somewhere. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So I've recently started an archive for only my viewers only, where you can see all the episodes non-edited, not with full video. So you can check them out. And yeah, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know I probably dilly dallied a bit, but I just like talking a little bit just to get to know
No,
you.
it's a
But
great way to kinda start it.
yeah, so what got you, you probably went on ahead and introduced it a little bit. So how did you, start into the business of podcasting, which you probably have said, well, actually, why don't you say a little bit about yourself, what you do, and, you know,
Sure. Well, I was around, I think, 14 when I started a podcast with 2 other friends, and this is when podcasting wasn't, like, the thing, yet
yeah,
just yet,
yeah,
and we kind of moved from just talking about topics to having, talent on the show and talking to them about what they do and why they do it, and, what kinda went through for a couple years after that, maybe it was, like 2011 to 2022. So during that time period, we're just interviewing people from Disney,
mhm,
but it was great because I just like to pick people's brains and understand why did they make the decision to draw an animation cell this way or create a figurine in such a way or write a song about a specific topic. And sometimes you send out messages into the world and sometimes you get them back saying, sure, I'll be on the show. So I've been very blessed with all of the wonderful people who've been on the show, and I think that's over 350 people at this point since 2011,
Wow.
and they're all very sweet. I try to stay in touch with a lot of them,
Mhm.
and some of them I finally meet in person, down the line, maybe, like, 3, 4
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
So it's been a joy, and I just love doing that, but on the side, I do theater, when I
Mhm.
can, and I love performing
Yeah,
and
of course.
singing, so, yeah, I have 2
Yeah.
albums out.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, I've seen some of your covers. I think I saw one from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang that you did. Uh,
Oh gosh, yes, the doll on the music box?
yeah, yeah. Oh my god, that was interesting. That was interesting. I think I saw another one. I saw another one today. You did like a Hocus Pocus cover. So I
Oh
didn't.
gosh, yes, by the beach, right? That was with
Yes.
Gus playing the guitar?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did, I Put a Spell on You because it was, like, Halloween season, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I love working
Yeah.
with Gus, he's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, that guy seems pretty cool, pretty cool. So of course, you went on ahead and you just started podcasting and doing things. So
Mhm.
trying to think what else. What has been some of your favorite what has been some of your favorite interviews that you have done? Like what has been some of your favorites?
Oh gosh. I know it's so cliche to say that every interview is a favorite of mine, and it is, you find
Yeah.
one thing in each interview that
Well,
really opens
actually,
your eyes.
let me
And
just rephrase that. What is an interview that is just that's just kind of sort of there was just something just really great in it, or you get what I mean? Like something that
sure,
was really just great that that was very interesting or something very
I loved during COVID, we you had Gary Drowsdale on your show. So Gary
yes,
had directed Atlantis: The Lost
wow,
Empire,
yes,
and we had maybe about gosh, 8,000 people in this group page that I had
hmm,
just joined who are fans of
hmm,
Atlantis, right?
yeah,
And so I had introduced Tab Murphy, the screenwriter, to this page after I did just an interview with him. And once he came to the page, everybody started flocking to this page and going, "Oh my gosh, Tab Murphy!" And then Gary joined, and Kirk, and Kirk Wise, and
yeah,
Claudia Christian, and all these other wonderful people who were a part of the film. And so I did a countdown of 365 days till the 20th anniversary. And when we
wow,
hit the 20th anniversary, I think we did a 3-hour show with,
hmm,
people who are animators and cast
whoa,
members and production team members.
wow,
And that one was really fun because 2020 was not fun. So it was
yeah,
really
it
nice
wasn't.
to celebrate 2021 in a different, unique way and have them on
Yeah.
the show.
To be honest, the only thing I like about 2020 is that I got out of senior year early, so that was like the best part of 2021. My high school experience was just crap. I could not even tell you. I lost
Oh,
my
I'm sorry to
mother.
hear
Yeah,
that.
I lost my mother in 10th grade. I lost my
Oh my
mother
goodness.
due to a diabetic attack in like
Oh.
2018. So it's been very stressful, and then I've lost my God, I don't know who else, but I've also had some experiences. I went,
Mhm.
during and then during that I used to be part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and they threw I kind of wanted to I still and they through I had a party planned and I did events and they never came to them. They
Oh,
threw
honey, I'm so sorry.
yeah, they were Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and yeah, they never came to them. And what they did was beforehand, but 1 year before, they never came to any events that I hosted. Especially my two birthdays. I had two birthdays. They
Mhm.
never came to either two. Yeah, but
Oh,
now the 18th one, I invited. They just said they were all too busy, and then the second year
that's so sad.
they improved, but then after they tried to improve a little bit, so they threw me a surprise party beforehand. But then to find out only this one girl came, only this one girl, and she was from the band. She wasn't even part of the group. This one girl from my band class came, but nobody else came. And then I found out that technically that whole excuse was why'd you throw me a surprise party at school if you could have came over to my house just like you did for everybody else that has hosted something. And so
Well, Samuel, I think a lot of people sometimes they just when especially when they're in groups, they can just have cliques and just be mean, and I don't think they'll realize it at the time, but I think later on, some people kind of wake up to the fact that they weren't kind to others. So,
Yeah,
not to say that your experience isn't one that's unique to just you. There's,
yeah, I
I'm
know.
sure a lot of other people I've had experiences like that during school as well too.
Yeah, yeah,
And it hurts,
mhm,
it really hurts, but,
yeah,
you know, it's how you
mhm,
react to it,
yep,
right? Because,
yes,
you go through a lot. I just lost my mother in
mhm.
December,
Oh,
and
wow.
so
I'm
I
sorry,
I
I'm gonna have
I
to
can
interrupt you for a minute because Jordan just joined in, so
okay.
hi, hey, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
You TikTok.
No,
You
it's
t
okay.
It's
Don't worry,
okay.
nice to meet you, Jordan. We were just talking about, how sometimes people aren't not the kindest,
Yeah,
in how they treat others, and I was just
mhm,
telling
yeah,
Samuel that my mom passed away in December, and he had just said his mother passed away a few years ago, and you're never really the same when you lose someone who loves you very dearly and you love
mhm,
them.
yeah, of
But,
course.
it's really hard. It's kinda getting back into adapting to some type of normalcy, while also just trying to be kind to others while you're doing it, you know? So, I can understand that, but I'm
Mhm.
sorry your experience was that way, but
Yeah,
sometimes you
yeah,
just need to
they
go out in the
admitted.
world and surround yourself
Yeah,
with
they
people that will
admitted.
respect
Yeah,
and love you.
yeah, they said that they didn't know anything. They said they didn't really know. They thought they had everything prepared and then they didn't. And then one of the girls felt very sorry. They all came and they all felt sorry. I'm like, "Why are you guys feeling sorry now?" Like that
Oh,
doesn't that no, that doesn't click in. Why? You instead
Yeah.
of throwing me a surprise party, you could have just told me you couldn't make it a second time and I would have just canceled everything. But, you know,
well well, we can always grow from these not so pleasant experiences
yeah,
in my opinion.
that's
It's hard when you're in the moment and it happens.
yeah, that's why I don't
I get
really
that.
focus. That's why I don't really focus on religion side of things anymore. I kind of do more of what I'm doing now in this.
Yeah, your passions, you
Yeah, I'm
focus on your
doing more.
passions. That's a
Yeah,
good
but
thing.
however, I will say this: I do have a guy. They built my dad is probably was probably older than your parents were. So, yeah he adopted me at 50, and so
Oh,
yeah,
that's wonderful. So you were
yeah.
adopted.
hmm So,
That's wonderful.
that's, and they built a ramp for my dad about
Mhm.
a maybe almost the last I'm trying to think last June of 20 they built a ramp for my dad and so he's able to get out a little bit but he can't really so he's able to get out and sit around but they've been around for a year and they've been around for probably almost a year now but
Mhm.
they're very nice but I will be honest I kind of don't really agree with some of the things that they do. I don't really agree with, trying to pray and, I mean, of course I believe in God, but
Well, we
that
all have our own beliefs and I
yeah.
think that's one thing we're trying to learn in this world that we're living in is how
Mhm.
can we learn to listen and talk with each other and have a
Yeah.
respectable conversation,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
It's so
Yeah.
difficult to hear other people's opinions and
Yeah.
what they love and their preferences
Mhm.
and just not to judge people right away.
Yeah, of
Don't
course.
the phrase, "Don't judge a book by its cover," right,
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yep. Yep, and of
That's
course
right.
that Thomas the Tank Engine song. Don't judge a book by its cover. Oh my
I
god.
don't think I saw that episode.
No, no, no,
I
it was a
remember the
song.
faces always scared me.
No, it was a song.
It
It was
was
a
crazy.
song. It was a song from the show.
Yeah.
It was the song from the show. So it wasn't an episode. It was a song. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's what I was singing that line from. So I mean,
That's
so yeah,
I
it
like
was
it though, I
yeah.
wanna hear the rest of the song now. I'll put
Well,
that on my list to
yeah, yeah.
listen
It's
to.
from yeah. I'm a massive Thomas fan, so I think you probably could tell because I that's my picture.
You'll have to
So
come to Strasbourg because I believe they have a
yeah,
Thomas
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
train.
know. Yeah, I know. Actually, I have one of the movies where they filmed the Strasbourg. They filmed the 10 Years of Thomas at Strasbourg in like
You're
'99.
kidding.
Yeah, they filmed there. Yeah, they did.
I
They
didn't
filmed
know
it.
that. I
Yeah,
just knew that he was there.
yeah, they filmed the 10 Years of Thomas. That's where they filmed like all the kids speaking about their favorite shows and all that,
Oh,
their
that's so
favorite
sweet.
episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
because
did
I
it in
only
like
knew he was
'99.
there in Dutch Wonderland, which is near Lancaster County, but I don't know if he's still a Dutch Wonderland. I haven't been there in a long time, so
Yeah.
that's
So,
awesome.
but yeah. So going into, some of your other interviews I really like. I know you've mentioned that you've had a favorite with, Atlantis and all. May I ask
Yeah.
you what is your favorite Disney movie? What
Gosh, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm leaning towards Treasure Planet. I
Hmm.
think I've been
That's a
really
good one.
enjoying that film more recently, and I think it's, again, I just did an anniversary interview with the cast and crew and James Newton Howard, who
Yeah.
did that amazing score to that,
Wow.
Atlantis and Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Talk about a 3 strikes, you're awesome type of role with 3 different films you just knock it out of the park with. Love him, love him. And
Yeah,
I actually
yeah.
just watched The Village the other day, and I love
Wow.
his score. Have you seen The
Yeah.
Village with M. Night Shyamalan's The
I'm trying,
Village?
I'm trying to think. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of these Disney movies, you know?
It's a horror film, but it was released
Yeah.
under Disney's label, but
Yeah.
I think it's a Touchstone if I don't remember, but it's by M. Night, and it was filmed over
Yeah.
here near Lancaster and
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say some of my favorites is Wreck-It Ralph. I love Wreck-It Ralph,
Oh,
which is
yes.
because I was a gamer. I was a gamer
Mhm.
and I loved Sonic, and Sonic was in there and Mario was in there, and I'm a big fan of those video
Oh, they're
games.
they're in the like, I don't remember seeing them in the movie. They're in the movie.
Yeah, they're in Wreck-It Ralph, and they're in
I
Ralph
don't
Breaks the
remember
Internet.
that at all. Wait, Bowser's in it, right?
Yes, Bowser's in
I
it,
remember
and then
Bowser.
Sonic says, "Okay, if you die, you don't regenerate."
Yep. Dr. Robotnik was also in that movie.
Oh,
Yeah, Doctor
yes!
Eggman. Eggman was. They call him Eggman.
I forgot. It's been so long since I saw last time I saw it was when I was on the Disney cruise when the year it came out, and it was playing on the Disney cruise. That's the last
Yeah,
time I saw it.
and I don't know why. And here's another Disney movie I like, and I'm sure you'd be familiar with this. But honestly, I kind of like the Jungle Book, like
Yeah.
the second Jungle Book more. I grew up with that one more.
Oh, can you feel the jungle rhythm?
Yes,
Ah, yes.
yes,
You
yes,
can hightail out of the jungle, they'll
yes,
never leave your heart, and that movie
yes.
came out on my birthday
Oh
that year.
wow!
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice.
We had early tickets to go see it. Radio Disney,
yeah.
we
Oh
won
my
tickets
gosh.
from Radio Disney to see the movie early, so that was really
Mm.
cool.
Oh my god. See, well, you already part of the entertainment industry already, Tammy. So,
And
Mhm.
John
my
Goodman is
god.
Baloo, that's great
Yes,
casting, you
yes, yes.
know?
I'm sorry. I love the Jungle Rhythm, and and you know what? We
Yeah.
actually had someone else who actually sang one of the background vocals of the Jungle Book too.
Cool.
Randy Crenshaw.
I
Mhm.
don't think I know that name, but
Yeah,
I will again, I'll put it on my list because I
we
wanna
interviewed him about a couple of years back. Yeah, so
cool.
actually, and you know what I did tell him? I saw him behind the scenes of the Jungle Book too, and I love how the way they got the kids to do that whole eep 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 during the Jungle Rhythm. It was like two kids and one woman, and I'm like, oh my god, how did they do that?
Mhm.
Jeez,
I
that
love
is
that. Do
and
you have a favorite Disney movie, Jordan and Chris?
Why, yes. My top favorite is The Lion King.
Good one,
yeah,
good
yeah.
one.
What
And
about
Chris,
you?
what about you?
My favorite Disney movie, well, it changed. It was Aladdin first, and then it went to Beauty and the Beast when I saw that one.
Oh, good.
Oh.
They're both
Yeah.
great, great films. Hey, it's went to and it's hand drawn. I think that's another thing that I miss so much is just hand
Mm.
drawn animation, true hand
Yes.
drawn
Yes.
Mhm.
animation.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do too. I'm sorry. I just can't stop talking about I don't know. You know what? I have tried to direct a cosplay and like tried to get people to cosplay as Mowgli, but I don't know. Like I wanted to direct it, but I don't know. I don't know why, but secretly I don't know why I kind of thought Mowgli was a girl when I was a young kid. because
Are you
of his
talking about in the first movie or in
the
in the
second
second
movie. The
movie?
second
The
movie, I
second
thought he was a girl because of his hair.
Oh, because of the longer hair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, that was very unusual for boys like that to have long
Longer
hair.
hair. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
but yeah, you got to admit, Haley Joel Osment and Mae Whitman, they nailed those roles of like
Yes.
Shanti
Mhm.
and
I don't think
Shanti.
they would cast them nowadays though, because they're not of that, they're not properly portraying the proper ethnicity. But
Yeah.
I love May as Tinkerbell, right? She's the voice
Yeah.
of
Oh yeah,
Tinkerbell.
she was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
she
really great in
was.
as
Yeah, she
Tinkerbell. I love
was.
those
Tinky.
films.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Tinkerbell. Yeah, my sister used to love that movie, the 2008 Tinkerbell. My sister used to love that movie, Mary. She loved it.
I was glad that they kind of expanded on the character, but that's hard because, Tinkerbell never had a voice, right? So
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
you have to be the voice and represent, and May did a very good job,
Yeah,
so
she
I don't think
knew,
I've ever she goes
and
to
then
Comic-Cons though, right?
I
She does
think
a lot
so.
of
And then you
that.
had Raven Simone as one of them. Raven Simone is one of them.
Yes. Was
Oh
it
my god.
Lucy Liu who was the,
Lucy.
water fairy?
I think so. I think
And
so.
Yes,
Kristen
Silver
Chenoweth?
Mist.
Yeah,
Silver Mist, thank you, and then
yeah.
Rosetta is Kristen Chenoweth, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
I think so.
Who
Yeah,
played
but yeah.
Fawn?
I don't know. I do know that
Mm.
in the Treasure, the bigger movie that came out in 2015, Olivia Holt voiced one of the fairies.
Was she Tinkerbell's sister? Who's Tinkerbell's
Maybe,
sister's name?
maybe. I
Winkle.
don't know. I
Her
don't
name was
know.
Periwinkle. That was the name
Okay.
of her sister.
Harry one. Thank you,
Okay.
Jordan.
Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. I kind
I
of.
met her in the parks one time because it was so funny. Before when you walk into Adventureland at Walt
Hmm.
Disney World and on your right
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
is where you can get the, what are they called? Oh gosh, Dole Whips. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tammy, remember, there's a building right there that's now there's a building there now that's for, just, those who belong to Club
Yeah.
33.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it used to be a meet and greet building, and so they had built it
Hmm.
so Tinkerbell and her sister Periwinkle had 2 different stages,
Yeah.
and you could meet both of them, and we were, like, snuck in because it was, like, they had just started opening it up soft openings, and we got to meet both and they signed our book, so that was one cool thing
Wow.
where I met a rare Disney character, Periwinkle, because
Yeah.
she doesn't come out.
You know what? I have actually met a few famous people myself. You know what I did? I actually met the Broadway Aladdin people back in 2019. I went to a New York trip
Nice.
with like a band It was like 2019, and I got a chance to meet Ansley, who I actually didn't know, but he did a show called High Five there, and I'm a massive fan of High Five because I used to watch High
Mm.
Five. And then
Mhm.
I met Aria Jacobs, which was
Aria Jacobs, yes. Oh, because she's sister to, gosh, who played the original Adam Jacobs, who played the original Aladdin, who opened it. I saw the original cast, so that was, like, back in
what?
2014, I think?
Oh my god, how did I not know this? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
later on, she was cast as Jasmine because obviously they can't pair them together as Aladdin and Jasmine.
Yeah, man.
Not gonna work, folks.
Yeah,
But yeah, I saw clips of her getting the role, and I was like,
yeah,
"Good for her," and her
yeah,
brother's really great as Aladdin, so
yeah.
that's good.
I
Yeah.
just so without any did I kind of want to get into the interviews now. This is some of my favorite interviews. So
Sure.
some of my favorite interviews that I've said, like I've mentioned earlier, I love the ones from Flick's Musical Adventure. I love that one, and one of my favorites. I told you before we began recording. I told you that I knew Joshua Grandelhoff and well, Joshua's sick. I don't know how he's called, Grandelhoff or Cattlehoff or whatever he's called. Yeah, I knew him
I think
from
you were right
Dooley.
the first time.
Yeah, Grandelhoff. Yeah, I knew him from Dooley, and Thea Kabaros. I knew from Animal Jam, she was a Animal Jam dancer. So that's how I that's how I kind of know them. How is it like to speak to them?
They were very sweet. I think that they were all surprised when I messaged, but I had just gone back into watching the sing-along tapes, the live action ones, and I was like, it would be so cool. Let me just see if they're on Facebook. And they were all on Facebook and they hadn't talked and seen each other in years, although some of them had stayed in touch. So I said, "Hey, do you
Mhm.
guys want to do an interview?" And they all were, "Let's do it," and we had a great
Yeah.
time. great conversation, and it was great to hear what they had to say because they saw the park before many kids and families saw it. It
Yes.
wasn't even open really,
Yes. Yeah, I
they didn't
know.
have everything. So,
Yeah. I
that was interesting because they said when you see them on the safari ride, there
Mhm.
really were no animals yet because they
Yeah,
hadn't brought them over, so
they
they
were
kinda had to
fake.
pretend
Yeah, they were
they were
fake.
animals, you
They
know?
were
Yeah.
fake, but that's okay. But that's okay. I mean, yeah, and then you talk to Brittany as well, O'Shea. I don't know. I think she's married now. Brittany's married now, actually. Brittany, she changed her
I
name to Brad first or whatever, but she's married
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, good for her, that's
Yeah.
good. I haven't stayed in touch with them in a long
Oh my
time,
God. I
but
know. I asked you, do you know anything about Thea? And you said no, I do not.
no, I haven't stayed in touch with any
Oh.
of them. I hope they're all doing well, I'm sure they are,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy to think they're older than us, you know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm
yeah,
29 now, and
yeah,
they're probably 5 years older than me,
yeah.
but
They're
it
like,
doesn't seem like 1998 was that far,
yeah,
far
yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was because I wanted to talk to Thea about Animal Jam as well as Flick, so I wanted to talk to her about how that was, and who know, and I don't know. I mean, have you tried to message her back saying hello, or have you
No,
tried?
it's when you do an interview, for me, it's like, you have that interview, and if it's a great conversation, fantastic. Some people, do the interview, and that's it for them. And I feel like sometimes that's the case, and it's
Hmm.
been years. That interview was 2016, almost
2016 or
10 years ago,
2013,
right?
2013, I think maybe. I don't know.
Was it that? Yeah, it was
I,
around that, so it was almost 10 years ago, so,
yeah,
and it's hard because, again, I told you I've spoken over, like, 350 people
yeah,
plus or something.
yeah.
A lot of us stay
Oh my,
Facebook friends or
yeah,
follow each other online,
yeah.
but, I don't know them very well unless I get to meet them in person or unless they seek out,
My
to
God.
talk more, and
Oh
that's
my
on
God.
occasion,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but
Oh
I
my
hope they're all
God.
doing well, I'm sure they are,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting married, having kids,
Mhm.
it's so crazy,
Yeah.
life it's a time capsule, those
Yeah. And I
VHS
wanted to.
tapes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also just wanted to just also say I'm gonna say I really love and I love this song. I love the freaking dinosaur dance. Oh my God. Boom.
Open the
Boom.
door,
Chugga.
get on the floor,
Yes.
everybody walk the dinosaur.
I couldn't stop
I'm
listening
gonna
to that
miss the
song.
Dino USA Land. I know they're
Yes.
closing it this year.
Yes. Yes. I
I love that
know.
Restaurantosaurus. The restaurant is great, and that's where the
Oh,
song plays still.
no. They're gonna shut down Dino Land.
Well, maybe it
No.
might be maybe they might make something different
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Who knows? I hear, like, it's gonna be an Indiana Jones ride and Encanto ride,
Oh my
cool.
God.
But
I
I'd
want
prefer
it.
the Emperor's New Groove, if
Yeah,
we're just
yeah.
gonna talk about
Oh man,
things I'd
oh
like to see
man.
added to Animal
Oh
Kingdom.
man. Oh
And
man,
poor
that
Flick
is
is getting
sad.
kicked out too.
Yeah. Oh my God. I actually went to go see the Flick Theater when I was like 3 years old. I remember that. I went to go see like Flick and the spiders came down and they,
Yes. Oh, that
oh my
was
God.
it's a scary show,
It was pretty scary to me
but
growing up.
that show lasted for a long time, folks, and,
Yeah.
always loved going to see it, so poor
That was
Flick.
fun. That was fun. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that too, man. Man, you know what would have been cool if you got if they didn't shut it down, you would have gotten all the cast members together. We recreated the Dinah dance. Oh
Oh, that
my
would have been
God,
cool.
I would
Yeah,
have loved that.
I was wondering what they were gonna do for the anniversary. It was, like, the 25th anniversary,
Yes,
and are you gonna pay
yes,
any homage to
yes,
anything
yes.
from back? Because I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
did you
Why
ever
didn't
watch
you?
the TV special with Drew Carey hosting?
Trying to think. I don't know.
It's great. That's something you should put on your list
Yeah,
because, like, people from Boy Meets World are on the show, Drew
yeah.
Carey show,
Oh
and
yeah,
they have,
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Le Bohème, who does the Ma Sequoia from Lion
Yes,
King, he's in it, and he conducts this beautiful array of music, at the beginning and end of it
yes.
in front of
Oh,
the Tree of Life.
Ooh.
It's fantastic. Like, they must have shot it early in the morning, and when you watch it, you're like, "Oh, that's probably 4 AM, 5 AM."
Mhm.
So it's called the
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom television special with
hmm.
Drew
Yeah.
Carey, so definitely take a
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah. 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 I think some of the cast mentioned that it was actually 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when they did that final scene.
Yes.
It was like, and it was
I
still the middle of
love
the night. It was still the middle of the night there. So, oh my God.
I love watching the dinosaur ride when they're riding it.
Oh my God.
It's very fast in the video, but if you freeze frame it,
Mhm.
the look of horror on their
Mhm.
faces is
Yes.
hilarious because they said they had no idea. Like, these kids are
Yes.
way too young to be riding that ride, right?
Yes.
And they're
Yes.
by themselves.
Yes.
There's no
Uh-huh.
adult with them. Not that I
Uh-huh.
remember.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
remember
"Oh my
that. They
god."
were screaming their heads off.
They looked horrified.
I'm
I
sorry.
think it was only Dominique, was it Dominique or Dominic?
Yeah.
Dominic, who did not ride it because I think he was too small. But I was like, "I
Yeah.
can't believe they said these
But
kids."
man, Thea, and then Brittany. Oh my gosh.
Helena and Josh and who
Yeah,
else?
Josh. Oh my God, I forgot. No, I heard this during
Oh,
the
these
interview
names.
that one of the producers' daughters would throw a temper tantrum because he wanted to go that they did because he wanted to hang out with them. And
Oh, yes, I remember them mentioning that. All these little
yeah, I
behind the
I
scenes
forgot.
things,
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot which one. I think it was that blonde-headed girl that was dancing with them through a temper tantrum, but I don't know because we don't see her again. There was like a blonde-headed girl that was like it was the part where they're like dancing, like doing the dino dance near to the dinosaur. Like the dinosaur. I
Oh,
think that
okay.
might have been. I don't know because I don't know. I don't really know these things. I've just done the interviews and I'm only interviewing somebody from that have done this.
I'm glad you like that one. I do love
Yeah,
Flick's Musical
yeah,
Adventure.
that
For
was
those who
great.
don't know what we're talking about, Flick's Musical Adventure, it
Yeah.
was the last live action Disney sing-along
Yes, it
that
was.
they filmed, at least
Oh.
in a theme
Oh.
park. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but what?
So
Yeah,
sad.
yeah,
So
but I
that
will.
that's one, that's it.
Yeah, but I will be honest. I do have to badge. The only thing I don't like is it's just the sound effect that plays in there. I don't know when you hear the elephant trumpet goes off, they play that little stock sound effect. That just that's that stock sound effect. The one that goes that one that used to scare the devil out of me in TV shows. Like I
Aw.
heard it in Sesame
Oh.
Street and SpongeBob. Oh my God, it used to scare the devil out of
It
me.
is loud, it
Oh,
is
Like
yeah.
loud.
you might know what elephant effect I'm talking about.
I think so, I think I know what you're
Like
Mhm.
talking
like
about.
I think it first came in the 50s, I think, but it's that little stock
'Cause
one.
it's isn't it in the Jungle Cruise too? I think they reuse that sound effect when the elephants are bathing in the elephant pool at Jungle Cruise.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah, and I think it also plays in the Jungle Book too as well when they're
Yes.
marching. That sound effect. Yes, I hate that. I heard that.
Aw.
I heard that in Sesame Street so many times, and I heard it in SpongeBob. And I think the one that's the scene in SpongeBob that scared me the most about it is just when he transformed into an elephant. In like the
Oh, I
earlier
don't remember
in
that.
like it was like in the very earlier ones. Like Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. It's in the episode
Mhm.
Walking Small. That used to
Yep.
every time I hear that elephant sound effect in shows, that just scared the devil out of me. And
Aw.
Yep.
like I'm like, "Oh God, no." That just
I
gives me
remember being
nightmares.
afraid of going to the movie theater as a kid. Like, when I smelled the smell of popcorn, I was like, "Oh, no. Oh, no." I don't know why, I just didn't like the atmosphere, and now I can't stop going. I love going to the movie theater. I don't eat popcorn, but I
I
love
do.
going to the movie theater.
I do. I eat popcorn. Popcorn's good. Mm.
I like the smell of
Yep.
it now. I do like
Yeah.
the smell of it now. It doesn't scare me as
Yeah, okay, okay, but, moving on from Flick for a little bit, I would like to say another one I really enjoyed was I just actually watched this yesterday, was the beach party one. I finally
Yes.
finished that one.
You
God,
like the behind the scenes photos? I think that was from Caitlin. I think
yeah.
Caitlin sent those over, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh
what a
my
gold
god,
mine."
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
you know what? I've considered she's actually on the list of people that I wanna have for my show.
Mhm.
'Cause honestly, I kinda remember her more in Inspector Gadget 2, in the second Inspector
Yes,
Gadget.
that's the one I knew her from too. I didn't know that was the same person, but I had
Yeah.
just interviewed funny that you mentioned Beach Party. I just interviewed, the gentleman who wrote the, "Set Your Name Free" song at the beginning.
Oh my
"I'm
god, yes.
Toby,
Yes.
Tiffany, we are gonna set our names free." So I just
Yeah,
interviewed
yeah.
him,
Yeah, yeah,
recently, and I was just telling him, I'm like, "That
yeah,
was such a fun song and a
yeah,
great way to introduce the kids
yeah,
cast,"
I'm
you know?
sorry.
It's probably the best live action Disney
Mhm.
sing-along in all
Yeah.
of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I just like I like Caitlin too. Caitlin was great. Caitlin was a great actress. I know she did one podcast. I forgot what her name was, but she interviewed.
Cool.
I forgot who she was. I saw her in one podcast. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. I don't know what I forgot what her name was. She was in one. I just need to think what the name was. She was in one. I
So
forgot.
you grew up with the sing-along tape, Samuel? You and I,
Act
we both did, or
I'll be quite honest with you. You know what? I think I may have saw them. I think I saw one of them in school, and that was Sebastian. That was the one with Sebastian Cruz, like
oh
the
yeah,
Sebastian.
the Sebastian's
Yeah, I saw.
Caribbean
Yeah,
Jamboree.
yeah, I
Yeah,
saw. I think I saw that one at like a music class. But
I
oh,
love that one.
oh yeah, Chris, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna chime in and say I grew up with the sing along tapes. I actually have one or two. I have the Flick one and I have one for the Lion King, I think.
Yeah, I think is that
Mm.
the just can't wait to be king one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember having those too. What
Yeah.
about you, Jordan? Did you also watch them or did you know about them?
Well, I heard about them, but I do not think I have ever watched Disney
Yeah.
sing-along songs.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they
did.
like, the best on VHS tape was
Yeah.
just taking that tape out, watching it, and then you get to
Yes,
rewind it
I
after you're
know.
done.
I know, I know. It's incredible. Like it's incredible to know that you're talking about all these things, Tammy. It's wonderful.
We
The
all
one.
grew up the
Yeah,
same way. I feel like
yeah.
we all have some connection, you know what I
I'll
mean?
be honest.
Like, I love that what can I just say really quickly, Chris, that I know you love Lion King. Have you been to Walt Disney World before? Because they have that Festival of the Lion King show. I know you would, like, go crazy for it. It's so good.
Oh, I wish I had been to
I
Disney,
have.
but I haven't.
I have. I've been to Disney World.
We're gonna have to get you there, Chris, because the show is still there. It's
Hmm.
still running since it was in 1998, and it's pretty much the same
Yeah.
show, but with puppets and dancers and
Yeah.
the fire guy who plays with the fire
Oh
during the
my God.
Star song. It's
Love to see
amazing.
that.
You would love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet.
On my channel, I somebody sent me one of the first performances of Festival from 1998, and
Yeah.
so it's on my channel if you wanted to watch it with the original cast. They had sent it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, sure, I'll post it." But yeah, it's a great show. So,
It is
I'm glad
great.
you're a Lion King fan.
Yeah,
that's like
I
my
am too.
favorite thing to watch is that show.
Yeah, I mean,
So
hey, yeah, The Lion King was great, but I will have to say, do long live the king to James Earl Jones, though.
Yeah.
yeah. Did you
That
guys
was
watch
good.
the Oscars? They honored him
Yeah, they honored him too.
on the
Yeah,
segment.
yeah, and the reason why I wanted to do this passing away because recently we just had another one, and she was actually in the first Inspector Gadget. She played Penny in this first one, Michelle Trachtenberg. Yeah,
Yes, that
yeah,
was a shocking.
yeah, that was a shocking one. Oh my God, I was like, how the heck did that happen?
And then Chris and I probably know her from Ice Princess.
Yes.
That was our film,
Yeah,
right? We
Yes,
loved the
yeah.
ice
yes, Ice
skating. It was her and
Princess,
Hayden
yes,
Panettiere, and
Ice.
I just met Hayden last year at a
Wow,
horror.
that's cool. And
Yeah,
yeah, the reason why I know I actually was just you know what? I actually mainly know her from the Nickelodeon stuff like Harriet the Spy. I love Harriet the Spy. I love that movie.
yeah.
Such
I
a
had
great
tried
movie.
doing an Ice Princess reunion 4 years ago, and I had reached out to everybody. The only person I heard back from was actually the gentleman who plays her boyfriend in
Oh.
the film, but he left acting entirely and he just directs now. So he's doing well, and he passed on doing an interview, which I totally understand. Some people are done with the limelight, they like being behind the camera. But he was very sweet in our email exchange. But yeah, he was the only one that
Yeah.
got back to me, and I forgot Kim Cattrall was in it. I was like, because I'm a huge Sex and the City fan now. And
Yeah.
I didn't even know I forgot she was in the movie.
Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg was definitely that's why I wanted to take that moment of silence because that was probably the most shocking one out of
Yeah.
anybody. Like gosh, she was
Yeah.
young.
Very, very sad. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
just I
fact she
think she's
had
40 or 39.
yeah, she was 39.
And
Like
they had
gosh.
just announced the Buffy Slayer series was coming back at some point. And so that had just been announced. I think it was just in everybody's mind. So that happened. It was like, "Oh my gosh, just so sad." I feel for her family. So I hope her
Yeah, I
family
feel
is
I
okay.
yeah, I just hope that Michelle I just hope that Michelle's family is doing okay. I was just Yeah, she was technically one of my favorite actresses, though I don't think she makes a good Penny. I think Caitlin Watts makes a better Penny secretly, but don't say but
I prefer part 2 to the original. I think part 2
yeah,
actually stays in tune with the goofiness of it
yes,
more so than the
yes.
first.
The
Wait,
Mhm.
who
first one,
plays Inspector Gadget in the second one? Who is it?
French Stewart, I think.
Oh, love him. I remember him in did you ever see Cinder Almo? Which was
Oh,
Cinderella
yeah.
Almo?
Yes! Oh
I
my
have.
gosh!
Yeah.
So
Yes!
great. He is so funny in it.
Yes! Yes,
Mhm.
I've watched some of Cinderella. I need to watch the rest of it. Oh my god, yes!
Yeah,
Cinder
I loved how they
Elmo.
paired him up with Kerry Russell at the end. I, like,
Mhm.
Oh
laughed
my
so hard when I recently
god,
saw it again because I was like, "I just
yes.
wanna watch it," and Kathy Najimy is in it, and who's the fairy godmother? What is his name?
Oh, the
Oh,
fairy god person.
yes, God person. Who plays who it's
Let's
the
see.
gentleman from Bicentennial Man. He's in that one with Robin
Oh my
Williams,
god, I don't know.
and I'm
That would
blanking.
be Oliver Platt.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Oliver
thank you.
Platt.
Yeah, but
You got
yeah.
to dream, do something. I just love it when he sings it or
Yeah.
Kathy's song, "Step to the left and shake, shake, shake. Step to the right and shake, shake, shake."
Yeah,
Mhm.
Sesame Street's definitely definitely a guilty pleasure for me a bit, because I mean, I grew up with it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's one of those things.
It's a feel-good show, you know? I sometimes if it's on TV, I'll sit and watch it. I don't care. Well,
Yeah,
see, I had the luxury of having Sesame Place
yeah.
being only 30 minutes from our
I
house, so
kind
we
of
used to go there all the
Yeah.
time
To
before
be
it became
honest,
really popular.
I will be honest. I kind of do prefer, like, I prefer the early '90s Sesame. I'm gonna say anything between that era and the era that I used to watch, like the ones from like 1998 through 2006, were a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me. Cause
That's
I don't
good.
know, I don't know, but I like the Abby era,
Mhm.
and then the
Abby
one from
Cadabby? Is that
and
her
then
is that her?
yeah, and then the one from the night, and then the one from from the late '80s to maybe '90s. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that the one in the middle between those were a little bit of a guilty pleasure. They were
Good.
it
Mr.
was kind of
Noodle, I
weird.
miss Mr. Noodle when he passed away, that was so
Yeah,
sad.
oh yeah,
Michael
Michael
Jeter,
Mhm.
Jeter. Yeah, Michael Jeter. Yeah, Michael Jeter.
that was so sad because
Michael
we just
Jeter.
loved Mr. Noodle, you know?
Yeah, I kind of preferred Bill Irwin's Mr. Noodle better. It was less creepy in my opinion,
When
but
did he do it? I don't remember
you don't
that.
know. Yeah, okay, so actually, Bill Irwin actually came before, and he was still doing it. I think,
Really?
yeah, Bill Irwin actually wanted to take a break, so I think for one season, Michael Jeter did it. Michael Jeter's not the original Mr. Noodle. Bill
I
Irwin is.
thought he was. Okay, well, this is something you
No,
learn
no,
something new every
no,
day. I did
he
not
was
know
not.
that.
Because if you Google Elmo's Wood the first season, you'll see Bill Irwin there.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look back and watch. I'd like to compare them, you know? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But they had Mr. Noodle and the Elmo show at Sesame Place for
Oh
the
yeah.
longest time, and
Yeah.
woo,
Oh.
that was a poppin' show. It was so much fun. I loved it.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing that.
Say it again?
I remember seeing that when I went.
Oh, you did go wait, where are you based again? Are
New
you
Jersey.
New Jersey.
oh, New Jer okay, good, yeah, so you were nearby too. Wasn't that the best show?
Yes, it was.
And then they
Yeah.
Mhm.
played, "Boom Boom, you're gonna say hey-oh,
Yes! Oh
hey-oh,"
my
and then
god.
I
Mr.
know that
Noodle
song.
danced to that
Yes.
at the
Oh
end.
my god.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I know, I know. You do know what actually I did see this show. There's another show that was in Florida. I went
Mhm.
to actually I don't really care about him now, but I went to go see Barney live.
Of course, Barney was, like, the thing, and at Universal Studios, I remember
Yeah.
we went and saw that Barney show multiple times with
Yeah, we
Mr.
went to go see Barney in
Peekaboo.
like we saw Barney in like 2008, and it was a great experience. I mean, I've kind of outgrown
Aw.
Barney now, but I'm not really into him
Hey,
now.
again, I sometimes put on, What's the one where they go to the castle and they let the king go fishing and they
I
rule the
forgot. I
castle?
Barney's
forgot.
Magical Musical Adventure.
There it is. Oh my God, Jordan, you're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you for helping me fill in the dots. But I
I'm
just like it when they
sorry,
go,
but
castle so high, up in the
yes,
sky.
yes, I know. I'm gonna be honest. One of my favorite live things to do, and actually I forgot to mention this earlier. I actually did go on a day out with Thomas in 2005.
Okay,
Which
okay.
was my all time favorite. Yeah, I went. Yeah, we went to it was a train place in Spencer, North
Yes,
Carolina, and we went and we rode Thomas, and that
that's
was
so cool.
yeah. And Thomas is my all time favorite show, hands down. Love the
Did you
narration
like
of
the
Ringo.
movie?
The
Did you like the
Magic Railroad.
movie?
I actually have the Magic Railroad. I actually have it on VHS and I have it on DVD. So this is actually a VHS that someone gave me.
See, I haven't
Actually,
seen it, and I heard good things about it because I love Matilda, so I didn't know that
yes.
Mara Wilson was in it.
Yeah, Mara's
So
in
I'm
it, and
curious
Alec
to
Baldwin.
see it.
Mhm.
And then you had Alec Baldwin, who was actually also the narrator in Thomas too. He narrated the season prior, and then he narrated the season after the Magic Railroad as well.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
I saw him at the HorrorCon just
yeah,
recently in
wow.
November, and the
You
only
didn't
reason
know
I saw
Thomas?
him was that he
Yeah,
was doing a Q&A right before
yeah,
the cast of Aliens. So I came in and I sat down, and I didn't realize he was there until they were doing a Q&A.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
kid you not, the last 2 questions that these people asked him, because they were of our age, right? They were asking him about the Cat in the Hat.
Oh my
I was
god.
dying laughing.
Oh
I
my
was laughing
god.
so hard,
We all know
and
how bad that movie was. Oh
no,
god.
no, I actually like it.
I don't think it was
I
that
think it's
bad. I don't think it was
hilariously
that bad.
ridiculous.
I don't think it was
See,
that bad, but
it's just I think see, the thing is, I think during that time it was like, do you go all the
uh,
way adult with
yeah,
something like that, or do you stick in the kids immature section?
yeah.
And it didn't know what it wanted to do, just like the Scooby-Doo live action films. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's the
Mhm.
same thing with them. Now, because I grew up with them, I
yeah,
have a soft spot for them.
yeah,
So, but
yeah. I
I
love.
could not stop I was
Yeah,
like, I love whoever's asking these questions. Thank
but
you.
yeah, I am a massive Thomas fan. I am a massive Thomas fan. You will hear me talk about Thomas a lot on the podcast, even with guests that I don't that are not that do not that have not have any association with Thomas. You'll hear me talk about Thomas a lot on
That's
the
good.
podcast because
I love
I am a massive Thomas the Tank Engine fan. I will talk about it till I actually have you know what I actually have all of the Alec Baldwin. I have all of his narrations on DVD.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah. I also and then I have George Carlin who
Uh,
narrated it. I still have his
oh,
narration.
George.
George
Oh my
Carlin.
gosh. Is he in the movie? Is George in the movie?
No, no, he was in Shining Time Station though. He took over
Okay,
Ringo
okay.
Starr's place because Ringo Starr was the first narrator, and then well, actually the
Oh,
UK, yeah, yeah, actually the
I didn't know
UK,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, and then yeah he narrated, and then and then the UK had a narrator by the name of Michael Angelis who narrated it for over 20 years there.
Wow.
Yeah, he
But
passed away too, so he's dead now
so
too.
when did George pick up? George picked it up when it was brought over to the States, or?
No, I think after the second season of like Ringo Starr, like Ringo Starr did it,
Okay.
and then they had him re-narrate a few lines to make it sound more American.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and
Well,
then
I
and
love
and then
George Carlin.
and then
Oh
he
my
and then
gosh.
George Carlin took over the place, and then he actually redubbed some of the redubbed the seasons
Oh,
that Ringo did for DVD, I think, so they can make it accurate to DVD. And then
cool. Okay. I
I
didn't know that
also
either.
yeah, then
That's great.
they had Alec Baldwin, and of course, and then this is actually a childhood favorite of mine. This next narrator, his name was Michael Brandon. He's an American that lives in the UK. So
Okay, I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I've heard of his name either.
I think he was in He was in a Captain America movie. You might have seen
Like
him.
one
Like
of the newer ones or the older ones?
I think it was one from like 2011 or 2012.
Oh, who did he play? Because I
I think
literally
he
just saw that one recently.
I think he played the person that created him. Like he said, "You got the job,
Oh,
kid. You got the job, kid. Well done." I think that was his line.
okay, 'cause it was like Stanley Tucci and Tommy Lee Jones were in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
I think
trying to think.
so.
I like Agent Carter, so that's why I really love that
Yeah,
movie too. So
but yeah, Michael, but yeah,
That's
But
cool.
yeah,
Now, so you're a big Train fan in general
mhm.
or just Thomas?
Yeah, I'm a huge Train fan as
Have you
well. So,
seen the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Starlight Express?
oh my God,
Because
you know
that's
what?
all
I'm
about
trying to think.
trains.
I'm trying to think if I did. Oh my God, I can't. I can't. I've seen a lot of.
You should get the album. It's very, very it's 80s fun. Let's just
Mhm.
say
I
that.
know about that,
Yeah,
but
and
I've never
but
seen it.
I love
You
Polar
you saw
Express
that
as
one,
well.
Kris?
I've never seen it, but I've heard about it.
Me
Yeah.
too.
It's got some
But
catchy
yeah,
tunes. It's only playing in Germany and United Kingdom right now.
yeah.
But it's very, very popular over there. I don't know why, but I will be seeing it this summer when I travel overseas, and
Oh,
I've been dying to see it because Family Guy has made fun of it before. I'll have to send you
oh,
the video clip of
Oh,
it.
yes, I remember that
You seen that
video.
clip?
Starlight
yes.
Express,
Oh my
Starlight
Starlight
God.
Express,
Express,
Starlight
Starlight
Express,
Express,
Express.
Starlight
Starlight
Express,
Oh
Express,
my
Starlight
God.
Starlight
Express,
Express.
Yes.
Starlight Express, Starlight Express, Starlight Express,
Oh my
Starlight Express,
Jesus,
It's so
Starlight
good.
Jesus.
Express,
Oh Jesus, man,
Starlight
that's
Express,
crazy. Man,
Starlight.
that's crazy. That is just
That's what it's
crazy.
from, you guys, so you have to see it.
Yeah,
It's one of his interesting pieces,
yeah,
but I
and oh my
remember
God.
listening to it all the time as a kid. I was, like, obsessed because I do love trains too.
Yeah,
I would prefer to travel train than
yeah.
airplane, let's just say that.
Trains and video games have been my big thing in life. Trains and video games.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, and so
Like a good train ride.
going from moving from okay before we move from I talk about Thomas a lot and just it's Thomas has been big, and especially this week we lost the TV show creator of Thomas
Yes,
earlier this
I
year.
saw that on Twitter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we lost Britt Offcroft earlier, like, and she died Christmas Day, but we didn't get the notice about it till a few days after the New Year. So
That's very sad.
that was crazy. And
Mm.
now I'm kind of hoping that we can get Michael Brandon on in the future. I don't know, but hopefully we can get Michael Brandon on.
You
One
know
of
what?
the
Never say never. I have big dreams too about who I want on my show, and you never know. You never know. So you
yeah,
always and sometimes you have to try for years. I'm telling you, some of my interviews had taken maybe a year or two to put together because they're reunions. So sometimes
yeah,
it's difficult, but as long as
yeah,
you keep persevering and being kind to people,
yeah,
usually magic happens. So
yeah, of
I hope
course.
I hope the good for you guys to maybe make that happen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, of course.
and you've
But
done 36 episodes. I'm the 36th episode, so that's
yeah,
awesome. Thank you
thank
for
you.
this has been so much fun to kind of just
Yeah,
chat with you guys. I'll
yeah,
have to
yeah.
I apologize for not listening to your episodes previously, but I have them queued up on my phone, so I will be
Okay,
listening.
okay, okay. Yeah, but so actually we're gonna take a break because we got fan questions right now, and we actually got some fan questions from for you actually. And
Oh,
so this is
cool.
Mhm.
this is actually somebody by the name of Tori Benson, and she's normally the one that comments on here. So she would like to know, her question is, what inspired you to be a stage actress?
Oh gosh. Well, my mom would tell you that I would not stop performing at home. So, the sing-along tapes would be on, and then
Yeah.
I would be dancing around and singing with them. So, I think I always knew I needed to be on stage, but I didn't know it here. So, my mom started me with dance classes. Loved it. And from there, she was like, "Well, they're doing Cinderella. Do you want to be in that?" And then I got cast as the little mouse and the little girl that
Wow.
goes, "And me, I'm in the second grade. The prince is giving a ball." And then just from there, I've been doing theater, and I love it. I think it's fun to play somebody else for a little bit and escape your own reality and just play somebody totally different from you and have fun with wonderful people who work on stage and off stage. I
Yeah.
can't say enough about stage crew. I've been doing a little more of that recently, and it gives you definitely a more of a respect to those really playing, making it the true magic happen on the stage, lights and mics. So that's kind of how I started, and I've just been doing it ever since. I loved it. Like, even if
Yeah.
there's a cabaret
Mhm.
around my neighborhood, I'm like,
Yeah, of
"Hey, can I
course.
audition for it?" Because I just, it's just
Yeah.
fun to be on stage, even if you're like on the main floor and just singing into a mic. But it's
Yeah, of
it's always
course.
fun to do that. So great
Yeah.
question. Thank you
Yeah,
that for
then
that
she
one.
says, and then she also, her second one is, what was your favorite theater show, stage or music or stage musical? So I think that's a great question.
Do you think she meant that I've been in or one that I really
Oh, you know
like?
what? I don't know. She just randomly just says, "What's your may?" I don't know. Maybe you can go with both. I guess.
I think well, I'll answer both ways. How's that? So the
Yeah.
one that I had the most fun with was probably last year. I got to be in SpongeBob the Musical as Sandy Cheeks.
Wow.
And that was
Wow.
a wonderful time. Everybody was so sweet. It was a different experience
Nice.
working with a different theater group that actually was
Nice.
respectful and kind
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
neat.
of course.
And so and everybody in that cast and crew was wonderful. Bless you.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm not.
and then one that I really love, oh gosh, I would love to be in it. They had auditions and then they had to cancel and switch things. Is 1776, which is about the founding fathers. And that came out in 1977, I think. And that's with Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets
Yeah.
World, William
Wow.
Daniels, and I've interviewed him.
Wow.
So
Cool.
great show, so much fun to
Cool.
watch, and it's one I would love to be in because it's all men except two females.
Mhm.
One is Thomas Jefferson's wife, who comes out for one
Yeah.
song, and that's it. And
Yes.
then John Adams's wife, she comes out for maybe three songs, and the rest is just the men. But they have been doing recently the Broadway adaptation they did, bringing it back to the stage, was all women, and that was really unique to see. I saw that on tour. It was different. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't like, but it was very different, and I would love to do a female adaptation of it.
Yeah. 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 Of
Matt Adams is
course.
my role I want so badly, so I hope I
Yeah.
answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To be really honest, I have a lot of guilty pleasure shows that I like. I don't know. Honestly, I'll be honest. Now, I'm not saying that SpongeBob is all bad, but I kind of drifted from SpongeBob too, because SpongeBob was just, I don't know. It's just
I love
overrated.
SpongeBob and Hey Arnold. Those were my
Yeah,
Nickelodeon shows back
yeah,
in the day. Loved
Oh,
both
I
of
yeah,
love
those.
yeah,
SpongeBob.
yeah. But I will be
Which one,
honest.
Jordan?
Yeah, I was saying I love SpongeBob. Big
Aw,
fan.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I will.
The earlier episodes.
Yeah, but I also kind of don't know. But I like these Cartoon Network shows like Flapjack and Chowder. Those were kind of.
I missed those. I see. My era was Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah,
So
my years were Chowder and Flapjack, and they're definitely meme-worthy shows.
yeah,
Like,
I'm
oh
Mhm.
my
sure. I see them
god,
on Twitter all the time,
oh
and I'm
my
like,
god.
okay, well, I know a little bit about these shows, so
I
that's
don't
cool.
know. I don't know, Tammy. I don't know. I don't know if I should say this right now, but one of my favorites, favorite scenes were like this. So there's a character called Kid Nichols, and he like I don't know, like his introduction scene is just hilarious. Like, so there's like a fly there, and then he like beats it up, and the way he beats it is just
That's
oh,
crazy. Oh, Chris has a question,
yeah. Go
or
ahead, Chris.
Chris, you watched Powerpuff Girls too? I'm assuming.
I watched all of that. Cartoon Network was my favorite, but I
Yeah.
gotta say it's pretty funny because my favorite though was Late at Night Adult Swim.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah,
Wait,
Adult
wait.
Swim wasn't bad.
We just lost the voice's Space Ghost. Did you watch that one, Chris? Because I did.
Yes, I was just watching Space Ghost today actually.
Yes, yes,
I missed
Gary
that
Oh,
show
Lowe.
so much.
Gary
That was so
Lowe.
funny.
I think that was George Lowe. Oh my gosh.
And Brock.
Dang.
I love Brock.
Yeah.
Yes, my favorite
oh
character was
yes.
Do you
Oh
Brock
remember
and
my
when
god.
Zorak.
they did something with
Mm,
Freddie Prinze
mm, mm.
Jr. and they're like, "I'm driving down Highway 40 in my pickup truck."
Yes.
Oh
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Brock and Zorak.
Oh
They
my
Oh,
hosted
of
this thing
god.
course.
on Cartoon Network called
Yeah.
Cartoon Planet.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, jeez. It was like because it was like a mixture of that and Boomerang. Do you remember they had the
Yes.
channel Boomerang?
Yes,
Mhm.
It was like
Yes.
Boomerang.
Josie and the
Yes.
Pussycats and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boomerang has catchy music, though I will be honest, those cartoons don't really suit me.
what
I'll be
about the
Yeah.
honest.
short films they would do? Remember the short films? They had like a
Yes.
Josie and the
Yeah.
Pussycat short
Yes.
film and then
I actually like those, but to be honest,
Doll.
some of them kinda creeped me out as a kid, like
Yes.
the Atomic Ant one used to creep the hell out of me.
What
Adam
about
Ant.
yes, that one, and then what about the one where it was, the piñata and,
What? Wait, oh my god, the El Caboing, it was like an El Caboing. Oh
El
my god,
yes,
Kabong.
that one
Yeah.
that one
El
creeped me
Kabong.
out. Yeah, Oh, El
That one
Caban.
scared me.
Yes,
Yes,
that one did, because oh my god, that one scared me too, because
yes.
yeah, yeah, the first little bit is like you hear like this
Just the
wolf howling.
animation.
Yeah, you hear
Yeah,
this wolf
Mhm.
howling, and then this bone starts speaking, goes
yes. I
that
remember
Yeah.
that
music
scared me as a
that
kid. I was
scared
like
me too. That
I
scared the
watched it
crud
recently. I
out
was
of
like,
me.
"I'm not scared anymore."
Yeah,
I
that
actually
scared me.
like
Yeah, that scared me when I was a kid. I was like, "Oh my god, what the heck is this?"
And
yeah.
then the Jabberjaw one was, "Who's gonna save the world?
Oh
Who's
my
gonna
Who's
save
god,
gonna
the
save the
day?"
day?
yes! Yes, Tammy, oh my god, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jabberjaw.
Yeah, Tammy, oh my
I didn't
god,
even
that was
watch that
awesome.
show. I was just like, I love
Yeah.
that song. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, Boomerang had some catchy music. I love the
Yeah.
Yeah.
music that they would play for, like, Scooby-Doo and the Jetsons beforehand. Those
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just the
those are awesome.
just the
Yeah.
effort they put into rehashing things and also bringing back new material for old
Mhm.
characters was
Yeah.
Yeah.
fantastic, and I was so sad when we lost that because I just loved watching those shows
Yeah,
again.
we
It was
lost
like,
Me
Boomerang and,
you
too.
like,
know,
we actually lost it in 2015, actually. I think it just entirely switched to
I thought it was over years before that. I can't
no.
remember. Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
no, no, they no, I think they stopped showing it in, like, 2015, I think, is when
Ugh.
they or it could be 2014.
Mhm.
That's another person I'd love to speak to is Frank Welker because he did so many
Oh my
shows,
god, yes.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo, and during that time period, I would love to talk to him and just pick
Yes,
his brain,
I love Frank
you
Me
know?
too.
too.
That'd
That
be a
was
good one.
Yeah. I mean, the
yeah.
shows I would mostly watch on Boomerang were Tom and Jerry, the Powerpuff Girls, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and Shirt Tales.
Yep, I watched all
Yeah,
those. Those
a
were
pup named
great.
Scooby-Doo, now that's a throwback. I I
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, I love the
Mhm.
show." What
yeah.
about you, Chris? You were saying something, Chris?
Um, well, with Boomerang, that's so long ago, like, gosh, I can't remember how long ago that was, but that was one of my favorite, um, networks too.
It was a great way to watch
Yeah.
the older stuff, and with streaming, you would think
Mhm.
Yeah.
that it would be, like, ideal to do something of that, but you can't. I guess you just can't really do it in that regard, is like, when you had
Yeah.
the TV, it would show different episodes of different shows. Streaming, you have to pick what you want, so I feel like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like, there's so much to pick, I don't wanna pick anything.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But
That's the
many,
thing now.
well,
Yeah.
so many series aren't on DVD either, and they should be.
Oh,
Mhm.
Um,
yeah, and the
and
behind
they
the scenes. Did you ever see that clip of, Hot Ones and, what's his name? The host is asking Matt Damon why films don't do as well, and he made this great explanation that if the film didn't do well at the theater, you release it on DVD because people wanna hear the commentary and the behind the scenes, but nobody wants to invest in that anymore because nobody's
Yeah.
buying the DVDs or Blu-ray. Blu-ray
No.
tanked, and it's so disappointing, but I have my physical media, as you can see behind me.
Yeah, I
I'm
do too.
keeping it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
I
I'm not getting
love
rid
my
of the
behind the
physical media.
scenes,
Yeah, I'm
so
not getting rid of no physical media.
yeah,
Physical media is the jam here. I'm not getting rid of it. I love
no.
it.
DVDs are great.
Support your local library, get a library card, and you can take out these DVDs for free and watch them, and I've
Yeah.
been doing that with a lot of my favorite films just to hear the
Mhm.
commentaries because 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
of
just
Yeah.
course.
fascinated with the stories. If I became a celebrity or, like, a movie star, that's what I'm gonna put in my clause.
Mhm.
I have
Mhm.
to do a commentary for every single movie, so I have to watch the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
I try to get, like, the rest of the co-stars to be like, "Come on,
Watch this
guys, let's
one.
watch it," you know?
Yeah. To be honest, I've watched a lot of shows that don't even air here in the country. I've watched a lot of just shows that don't didn't
Yeah,
even make their way here. So
yeah.
I watched them through YouTube, so they never even made their way here.
It's so sad, you would think that they would try to, at least stream things or let them be
Yeah.
released to be streamed. That's why I love Tubi because I'm
Yeah.
seeing things from overseas that I probably never
Yeah.
would for free.
Yeah, Pluto TV. Here's what I think I'm watching on YouTube. So I've watched these are a couple of British shows I'm watching. There's a show called Tracy Beaker, the story of Tracy Beaker, it's a British exclusive show, but it
Mhm.
never really got here. And now this is actually a show that did make its way to America, but
Like,
didn't
catch on.
yeah, didn't really catch on. It was called The Worst Witch. I've been watching that.
Okay.
So that's been a really that's a real good show. And then I've watched another one that made it efficiently here as well.
Mhm.
It's called Demon Headmaster. It's called Demon Headmaster, and it was kind of
It's like an out there type of show, right? Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
it's just out there,
it's an
but
interesting name for it. The
yeah,
only one
Demon.
I watched recently, if I was from the BBC, was here. Oh, here's my Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby Pop. There he is.
Oh,
So that's the
Oh.
show I've been really hooked on recently,
yeah, that's
BBC, and then they're doing a Jane Austen series that I hope
yeah.
will be able to come over here because 'cause I'd love to watch
Mhm.
that, so
Yeah, so I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about the sing along because okay, one of the songs I liked from the sing along was the hot, hot, hot song. I cannot stop dancing to that. I love it. I
yeah.
just I cannot stop moving to this like hot, hot,
Are
hot.
is that the one from
Yes,
Beach Party?
yes,
Where okay,
yes,
'cause I was trying to isn't that also in the Sebastian's Caribbean Jamboree?
yes. Oh my
'Cause
gosh,
they're going
yes,
around is it either Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach? I think it was Typhoon Lagoon was the first one that opened, right?
yes. I think
92?
so. Yeah, Typhoon
That's a good
Lagoon
one.
and then
I like the finale of Slicing Sand from the
mhm.
beach party where Aladdin and
Oh,
Jasmine sing the song, and then I got to interview
Oh.
Aladdin, Pablo, and and it's just so sad because originally I was gonna, ask them a year beforehand, and the woman who played Jasmine, Jody, had just died.
oh
So I got to
dear.
interview Pablo, and we talked a little bit about Jody, but those 2 were used for a lot of promotional
Oh my
material at
god.
that time as Aladdin and Jasmine.
Wow.
So,
Wow. That's something. And actually, oh yeah, Chris, before I get into this question,
'cause
'cause
you're
I
a big
gotta
Aladdin fan, Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I was gonna say, did you ever see there's video of Brad Kane, the singing voice of Aladdin, doing like the songs with the orchestra? It's so good.
Yes. He is what a singer. Like, again, it's amazing to me that we still have some behind the scenes clips of them performing with the orchestra. That was the thing back then, and now they don't even perform. Like when you see the Idina Menzel clips of her singing as Elsa, she's not singing with the orchestra. They've already pre-recorded, you know what I mean? So the fact that these individuals back in the 90s got to sing with an orchestra, can you imagine? Like I would that's a dream to me, just to sing with an orchestra, you know what I mean? It's just like, but they don't even do it anymore. But yeah, I'm sure Brad, an amazing thing he could check off his bucket list. I sang with an orchestra, and I'm a Disney character.
yeah,
He's such a good singer.
Yeah. Oh, great. I'm so glad they brought him back. I remember when I interviewed Scott, who is the voice of Aladdin, he said that when you're in entertainment, you say yes to everything. Can you dance? Yes. Can you sing? Yes. Can you juggle ball,
oh
juggle
my
balls
gosh.
or whatever?
Yeah.
And so he said yes to everything, but he said yes to the singing, and he's like, I can't really sing. So they're like, no, no,
Mm.
don't worry, we'll get somebody to voice match with you. And Brad was
Yeah.
perfect. He really is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. I mean, he was perfect. I mean, I gotta say,
He
yeah,
was.
yeah, and
Oh, and,
yeah, Chris.
um, oh, sorry. Um, I'm gonna just backtrack 1 minute because I know that Tammy has a lot of videos and people she interviewed, but me and my friend have a podcast we're doing, and that's how the whole circuit started. And we're doing, since you mentioned Space Ghost, we're doing a whole special for dedicated to George, and we'd
Uh-huh.
like fans of Space Ghost to come and talk if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd
I
Mhm.
love to.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't really watched
Daniel will
Space
give you
Ghost.
my email, and then
Yeah,
we can offline about it if you'd
yeah,
like. I'd love that.
I haven't really talked about Space Ghost. I haven't watched too much of Space Ghost, but I do like his George Lowe's voices for other things
He's
that he's
so
done.
funny. He is
So
so funny.
yeah, yeah,
Always will be funny,
yeah,
but
I
I'd love
do.
that. Yes, thank you
Yeah.
for asking.
Also, I do have a question. You also had a chance to interview Noel McNeil as well. How was that
Yes.
like? Because he's one of my favorite puppeteers. I've watched him
such a
since
sweet
childhood.
man, and and he's doing Little Shop of Horrors right now. He subs in for the plant sometimes. So
Yeah.
he's still doing his puppeteer work, which is amazing to me. And he has a show coming up, I think at 54 Below, that will be live streamed. So if anybody's interested.
Wow. Wow.
Um but again, for me, again, Disney World had the Bear in the Big Blue House show at
Hmm.
MGM Studios.
Yes. Yes.
I remember going to
Yes.
that,
Yes.
and
I've seen that. I went
man,
to that show. Yep.
the best. Yeah,
I
so
went.
that was great to just talk with him and hear what he had to say about working on
Yeah.
that project. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
Absolutely.
Just his voice, like
Yeah.
when you have a voice like that, it's just so warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Wow, what a pick, you know what I mean? And usually you just pick people who now have big names and are celebrities. So
Yeah.
again, another thing that we were lucky in the 90s is that wasn't always the case with people who were picked for roles, but they
Yeah.
were the best person for the role, you know?
Yeah, they were the best person for the role. Just like, I mean, I will be honest, just like this narrator, Michael Brandon, was probably best for the hit era. And I'm sorry to admit, I know a lot of Thomas fans are going to hate me for this, but that is true. Michael Brandon was the best for the hit era. I don't care what the fans say. And that's actually somebody I'm going to try to interview. I do know a podcast has interviewed him, though. I'm not going to say the name of their podcast, as they were kind of rude to me about it afterward. So yeah, but yeah, and also I don't know if you noticed this, but Pierce Brosnan was actually intended to actually narrate was that to narrate Thomas after the Great Discovery. Pierce Brosnan
Oh,
narrated the
wow.
Great Discovery of Thomas the Tank Engine. He narrated the Great Discovery,
I
but
didn't know that. I didn't
and
know that
he
he
was
did that
actually
too.
intended to narrate season 12, and he did actually narrate season 12, but we never get a chance to see it.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well,
the two
poor
Michaels.
Pierce. I love him in Mamma Mia, but he gets ripped to shreds for that,
Yeah.
and I think it's unfair. I love him in it, so
Yeah, yeah, Pierce is not a bad act. I think personally, I think he's kind of better as an actress more than he's a better narrator. And for Thomas, that's just me saying. And we were intended to have a female too. I think Gwyneth Paltrow was actually thought of to do the Great Discovery. Actually,
wait, are you talking about, uh, Gwyneth Paltrow?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow was
What
actually
year
a
was
thought.
this?
This was actually when Hit Entertainment was actually trying to go back to trying to get A-list celebrities to narrate
What
Thomas.
year?
2007, I think.
Wow, okay, that's it. Well, that was before Iron Man.
Yeah, that was
I
before
feel like
like
she didn't
Iron
get
Man.
big again until Iron Man and Glee.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's why she probably was turned down, but she probably was asked, but I think she was already too busy. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably, what really technically was going on. So, it's very interesting to know
And
about
one of
all
her
these things.
by the way, she has that slight cameo in the movie Hook, which is another, like,
Yes.
favorite of mine. She
Yes.
plays,
Yes.
Wendy.
Yes. And I think and
Love
honestly,
her in
I
that.
don't I don't know why, but when I think of Hook, I kinda cry a bit because I miss Robin Williams.
Yes.
So I
Oh my
kinda
gosh, what a loss.
yeah,
That was 10 years ago.
yeah, I know what he did. He did the S word, and I'm just like, when we don't get a chance to express about mental health and when we just he had a lot of issues in his life, and when we don't get a chance to express them a lot, and when we don't talk about them, it can, when here's the thing: when you treat people so differently in life, just like we were talking about earlier, when you don't treat people with the respect and the love, and just they're gonna, they're gonna feel left out in a way, and you have to respect other people. You have to honor and just, understand them. If you get the time to sit down and just like what you're doing now, Tammy, you're taking your time with us today, and that was just awesome that you were able to come on and do this. When you sit down and take the time and say yes, that helps us out a lot because you know when you because that's an improvement. Like 10 years ago, we thought we would never get a chance to talk to anybody from the industry. Like 10 years ago or whatever, podcasts were starting up. We thought we'd never have that chance. Like we were watching the tapes, and we never think we would ever meet anybody from like those shows like Disney or Thomas or any of that.
Well, kindness attracts kindness, so that's one thing
Yeah.
you'll learn when you do podcasting, and everybody knows everybody. That is one thing
Hmm.
I will say because I can't tell you how many times I've invited somebody to my show, and they've looked at my website and they saw that one of their friends was interviewed by me, and they
Yeah.
contact the friend and they say, "Is this a good idea to be on her show?" And so far so good. I've lucked out.
I
Everybody
haven't
said that
gotten
they
that
liked
yet.
being on the show. So just remember
I
to be
haven't gotten that
kind,
yet. Yeah.
and good things can come your way.
I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten anybody to really share my podcast with yet. I have told we actually interviewed another Disney person. We interviewed one of the surfers actually. Her name was Tessa Ludwig. Yeah, we interviewed her.
Cool. That's
Yeah, Tessa
awesome.
Ludwig. She was part of the movie Surfers. I don't know if you've heard of her or not, but she
Yes, I remember the movie Surfers. That was so long ago. That and Mike's Super Short Show. I remember
yeah,
those two were like the promoting of the movies, and I
yeah.
love them on Disney
I
Channel.
kind of
I
I
miss
kind of
that.
I kind of liked movie Surfers a little bit more. I didn't really watch Mike's little show too much.
Yeah, movie
Yeah,
Surfers. I was fun because they had like a set that reminded me of what's that 90 Kris, you would know this one. What's the one where the guy was in New York and he would talk to people? Um, was it Carson Daly? And he would interview people in New York, and then you would
yeah,
see the Times Square in the back, but it was like Britney
yeah.
Spears and
I think
Beyonce.
so. Yeah, I think it was.
Kris might know it more than I don't know. But anyway, it kinda reminded me of his set and that
Yeah, of
that
course.
teen vibe that they were going for. I like that too.
Wow.
That's cool that you got to
Wow,
interview her.
that's really cool. Yeah, you've interviewed people. I've seen a lot of interviews. You've interviewed people from Pete's Dragon and such like that. I'll be honest,
Love
Pete's
Pete's
Dragon.
Dragon.
Pete, that one was kind of a little bit of a strange one. I don't know why. When
The
I was a
film?
kid, yeah, a little bit. I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah.
It was
It's
kind of
it's it's a
strange.
film about child abuse and adoption and, the loss of somebody in a probably maybe in a violent way, and
Yeah.
but it's put to a musical, and it's
Hmm.
performed by people who are
Yeah.
so darn talented, Jim
Yeah.
Dale, Red Buttons, Shelley Winters, Helen
Yeah.
Reddy, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing about Disney movies back in the day is that they would have, like, an all-star cast
Hmm.
of just amazing talented people in these
Yeah. Oh
weird
yeah.
shows and movies, but I love Pete's Dragon.
Yeah. And
That
also,
would I
Yeah.
would love to see become a
yeah, yeah.
musical.
Okay, speaking of musicals, I really also love this musical. I honestly have a couple of two musicals that I've been listening to. One of them is I love Annie. You gotta love Annie. Oh my gosh, Annie is like
Yeah.
Which movie adaptation are you watching?
oh I've seen all of them, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about getting the one that Alicia Morton was in. Yeah,
90 Do you like the
that yeah
99
yeah
one? Yeah.
yeah 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 yeah, that one was good. That one was good. I have found an email for her. I have found an email for her. I think she did like a maybe did like a meet and greet or something some years ago, and her email was out there. So I'm gonna
That's
try to
cool.
see if in like
I
an
like that one too. I remember when it premiered and then
yeah
we got the DVD. But the 82 one, I just it's just I just love it because it's
yeah
old
the
Hollywood. It's like the last
the
old
82 one was actually not that bad. It was pretty good, and
Tim
also
Curry.
I
Oh my gosh, Bernadette Peters. All of
okay,
them.
okay. I know this is gonna probably disgrace a lot of people, but I kind of like the 2014 one as well, the black one with Annie in it as well. That one was
Yeah,
really good.
there were certain things I actually really liked. The song Rose did the one song with Annie, and I liked the new adaptation of it. What was it?
I forgot.
Gosh, we think you're gonna like it here. I
Yeah,
actually liked what they did with it.
yeah.
I
And
gotta watch that
honestly,
again.
I
I
don't
want to
know
hear it
why,
again.
but I kind of like the way in the 2014 one they did Hard Knock Life. Oh my
Yes, I
goodness.
did like that too. I did like
Oh
that
my
too.
goodness, that was awesome.
Yes.
And then in the beginning, the African American Annie starts like making everybody get excited for like
Mhm.
school. Oh my god, I don't even think I would be able to do that. To start off a musical like that is just whoa.
Yeah,
That's
Yes.
crazy.
I can't believe that movie is over 10 years old too.
Yeah,
Oy.
I know. Oh
And
my
instead
gosh.
of orphans, they were foster kids in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? That's how they changed it? Okay.
Yeah. I saw that you interviewed Roseanne and Tawny. You interviewed them as
Yeah, from
well.
the 82 version. They were Roseanne was Pepper
Yeah.
and Tony was Molly, and Roseanne had been Annie in different
Yeah.
stage
Broadway.
adaptations of it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they got cast in the show. They're
Yeah,
great.
I'm thinking about getting her too, actually. She might go well too with the show, honestly. And also there's another one I've been watching called Bugsby Malone. Bugsy
Oh, I
Malone.
heard about that one. I
Me
haven't seen
too.
it.
Yeah, I've been listening to the music of it. My favorite is Bad Guys. We could have been anything that we wanted to be.
I like
Cool.
Fat
So,
Sam's Grand Slam. Anybody who is anybody will soon walk through that door at Fat Sam's
yeah,
Grand Slam Speakeasy.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Chris, you got one?
Well, I'm gonna add to this, but I'm actually friends with Paul Williams, who wrote a lot of different music, and that's one of the soundtracks he wrote for.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I
Didn't he
know.
write Rainbow Connection too, Chris?
Yeah.
He did.
Oh my God, dude,
yeah.
that's crazy. Paul Williams is following you. Oh my God, that's
That's
crazy.
cool.
I don't
He's
have a
been
lot of
friends
people
for
following
years.
me. I don't have a lot of
Oh,
people like that follow me. The only people I know is somebody from Dooley and Pals, not Josh, but another girl from Dooley, and then I have Tessa Ludwig, who just recently followed me on here. So
Cool.
ah,
that's
Paul
that that's
Williams.
so that's
Paul Williams.
great. Yeah.
If you ever want to hear a great podcast where well, it's not with us because he's not with us anymore. Gilbert Gottfried had his amazing podcast where he interviewed like
Oh
Paul
yeah,
Williams and
Oh yeah.
Paul Schaefer and people
yeah.
who were in these older films. So much
Oh my
fun to listen to
goodness.
those conversations. And I think some people have like
Yeah.
there some of them are still on
Oh,
iTunes or
dang.
the podcast app,
Oh,
but I think
dang.
most of them are on YouTube and they're great. So if you ever
Yeah.
want to listen to a great podcast, again I miss it so much. I miss Gilbert.
Yeah, yeah, I
Another
know.
person we
That
lost
was
too
yeah,
early.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I'll tell you the podcast that I was watching before when we stopped recording this in just a little bit. I'll tell you the name of the podcast that I was referring to when we stop recording in just a little bit because we
I know
do
we've
got a
gone
few
an
more things.
hour and 30
Yeah,
minutes. So
yeah,
any more questions
yeah.
or
Anymore?
before we
Yeah,
wrap
well,
up?
yeah. I got it because I got to get to the a little bit. I got to get to the few more questions and then I got to
Alrighty.
get to the few more questions here. But now Tori did ask, what are plans that you have for the future? What are
Oh,
plans that
I'm
you have?
directing a production of Pride and Prejudice, which will be at Newtown,
Oh
PA
my
in
goodness.
June. And it's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite
Oh my
films,
God.
and it's a great script. It's a little bit of a different adaptation of the story, but that's what I'm doing next.
All right. Wow. That's very fun. And that's fun. I'm sure that's fun. I heard that you were directing something. I think I saw that on Instagram that you were directing something. And I actually did. I think I put your name on Instagram as well, saying that we were talking to you. So hopefully, yeah.
I didn't see that, so I apologize. I would have shared it.
It's a
Sorry.
it's okay, but you can share this episode once it gets out. Normally I get everything rendered in a day. I'm the head of the podcast, so I do everything. I record, I edit. Basically,
Well,
yeah,
don't down your co-hosts over here. Kris and Jordon are living it up over here
yeah,
too.
yeah, they are. Yeah, yeah,
Jordan's
they
filling
are.
in what I'm missing, and Kris is
Yeah, they
adding
are.
some. Kris and I,
Yeah,
we had the same era of our
yeah,
favorite things.
yeah. That's
The team
great.
Thanks,
effort.
guys.
Team effort. Always mention, it's a team effort
Oh,
because I remember when I did the beginning of my podcast was with two other people and we worked as, a team to make it happen.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you guys are
I
working as
had
a
a
great
lot more
team.
people. I had a lot more people, but I'll be honest with you. The first couple of co-hosts I had, they were kind of not so good. One of them was a bit of a show off, and another one kind of asked weird questions like how old they were and just such like that. And I was like, no, I can't have that.
My
Mm.
goodness.
That was kind of strange. And then just another one was showing off and stuff like that. So that was so okay. And now anybody that wants, so Tammy, what's your advice for anybody that wants to like either do a podcast? I just say just start something simple. Just you can use your phone, get like a
Well, everybody
microphone.
has a podcast, and the object of that is to say, why should you make a podcast? What is your voice? What is your standpoint about something if you're going to do a specific topic, and make sure you have the proper equipment so you sound good. Because again, a podcast is supposed to be truly all audio, right?
Yeah.
So you want to
Mm-hmm.
sound the best you can.
Yeah, of
And that
course.
is key to make you stand out as opposed to
Yeah,
just somebody, you know.
of
So I
course.
always say make sure you have a good microphone, make
Yeah,
sure
that's
you have
right.
a good
Yeah.
sound system and recording
Yeah, make
system.
sure. Yeah, I know that. So I know that I've had like I'm gonna probably keep mentioning this. I've had some people that have said that they didn't really like my audio, but that's another story now.
Yeah. That's another
It
story.
was
So we'll
it
keep
was a
going to the
voice actor.
questions. How's that? We'll keep
Yeah.
rocking with the questions.
So we'll just
Any
keep
more?
rocking. And let's see. So this is a question that I ask all my guests this, and basically, I ask people what is something that is entertainment treasure to them, and you know,
Entertainment treasure.
yeah.
Okay.
So that wasn't like
Wow.
it could be like a movie, TV show, video game, but technically you've already technically have answered that question.
I
I know what
there's
it
so
is.
many things. I think entertainment treasure, I'm going to have to say is probably being able to have VHS tapes and laser
Mhm.
discs and DVDs as a kid because
Oh my
the
god.
kids that are growing up will never get that hands-on physical aspect experience, and that's such a shame. So I'm going to say that that's my entertainment treasure right there. And also, my dad used to show me 16 millimeter film.
Yep.
And I love that because I was watching Casper the Friendly Ghost and
Oh my god.
Woody
Yes.
Woodpecker.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Casper.
I'd say that that's my entertainment
Yeah,
treasure right
Casper.
there.
Yeah, Casper was great. I gotta say, Casper
Not
was
the
Oh
great.
movie,
yeah.
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
original cartoons
Mhm.
from the 30s and
Yeah.
40s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the
Go.
original material
Yeah.
before any of the movies and the
Yeah.
sequels and anything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
Well, man,
question.
man. Well, man. I gotta say, guys, this was fun. You guys. Does anybody? Do any of you do you guys have anything more to tell Tammy or, you know? Because I've let you guys speak too as well here. Because normally when we have guests, you're not normally active, but this time y'all were active. So
Well,
this
you
Yeah.
is
gotta
great.
get everybody involved, you know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
pass along
Yeah,
questions.
I do let them get involved, but they don't
Oh
normally
yeah.
have anything to say in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
episodes. But they're just
Gotta
this
give
one was
people
great.
time. You gotta
Yep.
give people time to say something. Not
Yeah,
everybody's as fast as, you and I, like, talking.
yeah,
Yep.
of course. Okay, guys, any of you guys have anything? And then once we stop recording, I'll tell Tammy one more thing, and then we'll let her go once we stop
Okay.
recording, and then you know. Okay, so finish, guys.
So, well, we were talking of Paul Williams earlier. Well, what I know about him is that in My Little Pony, Escape from Katrina, he did the voice of Katrina's servant, Rep.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I
I
love that
mean,
he's still doing voiceovers. I think that's great. Go for Paul, 'cause he's,
yeah,
like, in his 80s
Yeah,
now,
it
isn't
was
he?
way back in the
yeah,
80s.
Oh, that was
yeah.
way back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh gosh, I thought it was
yeah,
a newer series. I was gonna say, if he's doing anything now, that's awesome.
yeah,
But cool. I'll have to listen to that. That's awesome.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything, Chris? Or
Well, I got out all I wanted earlier, but I do want to say a big thanks to Tammy for being so nice and
yeah,
so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, of
you know
course.
Yeah, of course. Chris, you and I are gonna have to go to Sesame Place. We're gonna have
yeah
to meet up and go,
Yeah,
"Where's Mr. Noodle?
yeah,
Where's Mr. Noodle?"
yeah, man. I gotta say, yeah, I can't. I've been trying to do Comic Cons too. To be honest, I'm kind of very poor at the moment, so I can't really go anywhere. I'm struggling, but we're struggling a bit, but we're trying to get cars ready for us, and we're getting some things ready. So we have people helping us right now, but you know, it's we're just doing the best I can. Yeah, normally, and now here's the thing about our podcast: everything is normally not paid. I don't have to pay anybody for their time. So normally, when I email them, they say yes, and so, no interviews
That's
are paid.
always a nice thing. I think a lot of people that's another reason when I get to meet a guest that I had on my show maybe from 15 years ago and they're coming into town, I usually message them or I'm just like, "Hey, I owe you a lunch." Or "Thank
Okay.
you so much, are you doing a show? Can I buy a ticket to support your show?" You know what I mean? I try to do that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very nice that you guys are doing, you have this podcast
Thank
and you're
you.
talking about your passions.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank-
you for having me on
Yeah.
it. It's been
You are
Absolutely,
enjoy to talk
welcome.
Tammy.
to all 3 of you guys.
Absolutely. Tammy, thank you for joining us once again. And yeah, guys, and that is a great goodbye from us as well. We had a lot of fun talking with you, Tammy, and we hope that if you guys have not checked out Tammy Tuckey's podcast, please, you guys have got to check out some of her interviews. They are
Did you want me to
great.
give my website? Do you want me
Yeah,
to
yeah,
is
yeah,
that all
yeah,
right?
yeah. We can link. Yeah, we can link the website.
It's
Yeah, we
it's
can link the.
youtube.com/Tammy Tuckey, and you could find me on Twitter and Instagram
Yeah,
at
where the people?
Tammy
Yeah,
Tuckey
yeah. I
too.
was about to say, where can people find you if they can find you?
Yep,
All
I'm on
right.
Facebook and Twitter and Instagram,
Yeah.
and Samuel, I think we should end with a
Okay.
song.
What?
Take
What?
off
Okay.
your
What's the name of
shoes,
the?
let down your hair,
Yeah.
turn on the music, and we'll get somewhere. Dance,
Okay.
dance, dance till your toes get
Yeah.
tan.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, I know that song too. Oh my God. Dance, dance, dance. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask Caitlin to see if she'll do it. I'm sure that Caitlin would probably do this show as well. I'm gonna see. I'm definitely gonna see if she can do it because I
I'm gonna
gotta.
watch the video again. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah. Think. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, and they filmed that. By the way, when you watch it,
Mhm.
they filmed it during like January, February, March.
Yeah.
It was
I know.
freezing out. These
Yeah.
poor
I
guys.
know.
We all thought that they were in like July,
Yeah.
August, summertime.
No, no,
Nope.
no. Mm-mm. They were in winter. I think a lot of these things were done.
Yeah.
Like these summer things were done in like late 90. Like well, for Flick it was done late
Well, you don't
98.
want
And
anybody in
then
the
it was
background. I'm sure that
yeah,
that's why they wanted to film it the way it was because nobody's
yeah,
in Florida
yeah. No
usually
one's
around that
there.
time.
So
Too cold.
yeah, too cold. Yeah.
Well,
But
thank you
anyway,
guys
guys,
for
yeah,
having
that is a
me.
goodbye for us
You
as
are
well,
welcome.
guys. And once we stop recording, Tammy, I'll let you know when we stop, and then I will give you an introduction out. But I'm gonna give
Rock
everybody
and
here.
roll.
But I'm gonna give everybody an introduction out here. Thank you guys for watching this show, and yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much once again for being supporters for the show, and we will see you guys. Oh yeah, I was about to say our next episode is supposed to be this Friday. We're recording Gary Stockdale, which is another. He's worked with the Silver Shears as well, Michael and Patty as well. He knows them and such like that. And yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, we will see everybody on the next episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see everyone soon for the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye
Bye.
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 Thank you for watching this episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk. We hope that you had fun and that you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, maybe you'd like to watch or hear more episodes of the show. The link to the playlist is in the description. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more upcoming episodes. And don't forget that you're awesome and that you too are filled with entertainment treasure. See you next time for another great episode of the podcast. Peace out.